everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am Constance. Today we are doing a really cool tag video. We are doing the Loki Book Tag. Now, I have not watched the show yet because I don't have Disney Plus, but I'm trying to find somebody who will let me use their login and password. So I may get with it with everybody soon because I am interested, but this is a tag. I'm very excited. This tag was created by Eric, also known as Breakeven Books. Please watch their original video. I'm gonna have it tagged in the description box. And yes, I'm excited, so let's just get started. Question 1, Mischief, a book with a mischievous character. I had a hard time figuring out something for this one. I really don't know why, but I ended up choosing Hypnos from the Gilded Wolves. I love that character. He's fantastic, but you don't know in the beginning if he's good or bad when it comes to the group. Like I said, he's my favorite character. I'm excited for the final book in the series that comes out this year, by the way, but I'd have to choose him. He's my favorite character and I really like that series, so Hypnos it is. Question 2, Variant 1, show a book you have more than one version of. I chose Women's War. I have the hardcover version. This is the first one I got. I got this pretty much the year that this book was published, so they didn't have an option for the paperback. But once I saw that this was available, / the second book I read, I got that one in a paperback, I decided I'm absolutely collecting the paperbacks and I will eventually get rid of this. I don't know if I'm going to give it to a friend or if I'm just going to donate it, but this I have two versions of. Question 3, Variant 2, show a book series where you have multiple book editions in the series. So I have the hardcover US version of Kingdom of Ash. I mean, I assume that this is just considered the American version, but I really liked the UK covers. And when I wanted to finally get around to reading the final book, because it took me a minute, I was like, ooh, you know what, I'm gonna read it in the paperback version. So I bought this, the UK version, and I love these covers a lot. But the thing is that I'm not collecting the series. I'm not collecting these. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am not sure if the reason why I got this one is because they didn't have a paperback version of the US one out when I finally was going to read it, but I bought this, and then at the end of the day, I ended up reading the final book on my Kindle. So not only am I not collecting all of these, I mean, here's the thing, if I could find these secondhand, I'd buy them. I'd collect it. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna pay full price anymore. But yes, I have these guys. Question 4, Prune, a book that you recently got rid of or are planning to get rid of. So I am getting rid of Dark Dawn / I'm getting rid of this entire series. I DNF'd this series at this book. I came to realize I really don't like Nevernight anymore. When it took me a long time to finally read this book, first of all, when I finally got into it, I hated it. I don't even think I made it to page 100 because I just couldn't take it anymore. And it made me have to sit back and realize, did I even really like books 1 and 2? Or did I just get through them because I didn't DNF them? And I kind of told myself that I did. So I think that's the case. And on top of that, things have come out about Jay Kristoff. I'm not a fan of the things that he's done that I've recently learned. Same thing with Amy Coffin, which is very disappointing. So yes, not only did I DNF the series, I just don't want this on my shelf anymore. I'm not a fan of him as a person, and I hate the series, so gots to go. Question 5, Enchantment, a book that had you under a spell, a book that you could not put down. So the first book that popped into my head, even though there's like quite a few that I have just kind of binge read through. This one always pops into my head, and that's 5 Dark Fates. This is the final book in the Three Dark Crowns series by Kendar Blake. And the reason why this one always stands out to me is because I stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning finishing it. I'm a morning person, okay? I go to sleep at a reasonable time pretty much every night. It's very rare for me to stay up very late. And I was almost as surprised as my husband, who I remember coming downstairs after playing his video games, probably at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and surprised as hell seeing me wide awake on the sofa. And I did not put it down till I was finished. I think I read this in like essentially 24 hours. You know, I took a break for sleep and probably the first day. But this one had a hold on me, and I feel like this is going to be a series that I will continue to go back to because I just genuinely like it. I think it was done well. I really like the characters, and I think that this final book was just perfecto. Well, that's me. Question 6. Timekeepers. Name a series that has stood the test of time. Bonus points if it's a trilogy. I had a hard time choosing something for this. I didn't really know which way to go, but I realized that something that's stood the test of time for me and is a series is Sailor Moon. I love this manga, and I've always loved this anime since I was young. I would definitely say that this is a series that most people recommend when it comes to, hey, if you're getting into anime, definitely watch Sailor Moon or definitely read Sailor Moon. And I just think that this is always going to be a series that everybody who watched it, read it when they were younger, it's something that's always going to be something that they genuinely love and have fond memories of. But not only is it a good starter anime in general, it's just good in general. So this to me has stood the test of time, and I will always recommend Sailor Moon. Question 7, Asgard, a book with royalty or godlike figures. Bam! Tiger's Daughter by K. Arsenault Rivera. So this like hits both of those because Shizuka and Shefali are like reincarnated gods, but Shefali is also the princess, and then she becomes the queen. So it hits both. I just recently finished the series, but Tiger's Daughter is definitely my favorite book in the trilogy. I would absolutely recommend reading it. If you stopped at the first book, you could stop at the first book if you want to, but I would say that the whole series is really, really good, but this one is definitely my favorite, so this is the one. Question 8, Daggers, a book that cut you deep and made you emotional. So obviously I have more than one because I'm emotional, I'm a crier, and I stand true in that. I will cry like that. But these, and I whittled it down to 3 because I cried almost everything. I whittled it down to 3. So the first one is Feed by Mira Grant. So first of all, I love Mira Grant. I love books written by Mira Grant. A lot of people on BookTube are also familiar with Seanan McGuire. Same person, but Mira Grants are more adult horror sci-fi combo. And Feed is fantastic. The end of this book, I sobbed so hard at the very end of this. And in general, this entire series is fantastic. Yeah, I recommended this to so many people. Had my mom read it, had my friend Melanie read it. Yes, recommend. But this one cut me deep because I was not expecting that at all. The next book is The Trouble with Hating You by Sajni Patel. I love this romance book, and I don't think that it's like the traditional romance. Obviously, you have your two people is kind of like, it's enemies to lovers, and we all kind of know the formula for that, but this has some dark parts to it, you know, content warning for sexual assault, for child abuse, for some dark themes of like family and church and, you know, overbearing communities as far as church is concerned too, and religion. So it has these parts that are really, really sad, and it's very real and very dark. Well, I don't want to say very dark. Well, I mean, I guess that is very dark, but there's some things in here that are not your traditional romance side of things. And of course, like I said, when it comes to romance, you kind of know the formula. So the ending, I knew that that's what was going to happen in the end. But it didn't matter because I was very, very invested. And I cried at the end of this book. It was so good. I feel like the characters in this romance were developed really, really well. And I just genuinely liked it. I would absolutely recommend this. I recommend this romance a lot of the time. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but The Trouble with Hating You is great. And last, it is going to be The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. I don't think it's a surprise why this would make you cry. Obviously, we're talking about slavery. We're talking about America and the ugliness of it. But what happens to our main character's mother at the end, slash, it's really the beginning, was so hard. I knew that that's what was going to happen, but just because that was predictable doesn't mean that there was no sting when you see and read what actually happened to her mother. You know that it's coming based off of the, you know, sadness and resentment from our main character, but it doesn't change how devastating it is. So this book, I gave this 5 stars when I read it. I don't know how you could not be emotional reading this book. If you've read this and you didn't cry, I'm gonna try not to judge you, but I think that the end of this, and just in general, hard book. This one. And last, question 9, Illusion. A book you bought because you thought the cover was pretty and it ended up being bad. Technically, we could also say Nevernight for this one. That was definitely a BookTube Made Me Buy It series, and the cover and the UK covers that so many people had, I was like, oh, this is cute. But this one too was also another, a BookTube Made Me Buy It. I also recently saw the UK cover for this on someone else's video. And just in general, Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. Honestly, a lot of these covers in this series are really, really great. But in my opinion, I don't like it. Although I hate the fact that I still want to read the last book. I don't know what it is. It's the I don't want to DNF in me. I don't know why. I will kind of try to push through as much as possible. But I read this book. I thought it was okay. Read the second one and realized I retained no information. I only remembered the first, the 2 main characters, Sophia and Isolde. Those are the only 2 characters I remembered. When we started talking about other characters that were in this book, I did not remember who they were. If I read the last book, I will probably have to start all the way at the beginning again because I still don't remember anything about it. So is it bad? Do I think that, would I not ever recommend this? It's the terriblest book ever? No. I think it is for some people because there's plenty of people on BookTube. They love this series. For me though, I don't know what it is about it, but it just doesn't keep me. It just doesn't keep me interested. So this is absolutely one that I have to choose. It got me. The cover, the synopsis, oh my god, it just seems so great, but I just cannot stick with the series. So it's Truth Witch in almost every book in the series because all the covers are really, really pretty in my opinion. Even the last book that's coming out this year, it looks great. But yeah, it's this one for me. And that is the Loki book tag. Please, I'm tagging anybody who watches this. Please do the book tag. I'd love to see what y'all's answers are. What do you think of my answers? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please like the video. If you like it, follow me, subscribe to me, hit the notification bell. I've got other info in here if you want to follow me on Instagram. I try really hard to be active on there, or Twitter. And with that being said, have a good day. Goodbye.